The first step, what we're trying to do is, this is obviously like a simulation to demo. We could have hundreds or thousands or tens or hundreds of thousands of sensors. It really doesn't change anything, like how you would go in and you would set that up. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in artifact collection. So artifacts in LimaCharlie are kind of everything that is not the telemetry generated first class by LimaCharlie. So LimaCharlie doesn't rely on Windows event logs, ETL, or anything else. It really is standalone in the box. So we generate our own telemetry, a whole bunch of advantages. That's how we can support pretty much everything on the planet. But every now and then you need to ingest other things than strictly, the events that LimaCharlie generates. Windows event logs is one of those. So Windows generates it. So it's an artifact, but artifacts could be a ton of different things. They could be like the raw Windows event logs from disk. So we used to only support that. You could collect at recurring interval it from disk, and you still can. But what we're going to show you is really the method to do it from in real time. So now we support real-time Windows event log collection. The advantage there is it's going to allow you to receive them in real time. As I'll show you the DNR rules, so that the engine that does the detection operates at wire speed. So you'll be able to respond at wire speed to whatever's going on the endpoint. And if you want to create detections that mix between LimaCharlie events and Windows event logs, now you can. So our engine supports, super simple rules like evil.exe started, all the way to very contextual rules, like if this happened within that many seconds of that, and like the whole statefulness of the detection. Now you're able to merge them with other LimaCharlie events and Windows event log events. And so do timing between them, do relationship, all that good stuff. So I'm going to create a new rule for collection. I'm going to call it WEL. It should operate on Windows. And in this case, we can kind of ignore a bunch of those things because this is really mainly geared towards artifacts that are usually on disk. So if you have, you're on the Linux box and you're collecting syslog, it's very disk centric, where you'll say, for example, I want to retain like that particular log file for that many days. You will be able to, to like set up like file patterns and deal with SSL, all that stuff. In this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, I want to collect Windows event logs from all my Windows boxes that have the tag server. Pretty straightforward. And the pattern, instead of being just a file, I'm actually going to go in our doc. This bigger. So Windows event log in artifact collection. This is what I want. And we will talk a little bit about Windows event logs in a couple of spots, but really the bit I'm interested in is at the very end here. So we have a section that's specific for Windows event logs collection, and we'll give you like the different ways to, how you want to configure things if you're getting the files on disk at rest, or if you're getting them in real time. So in this case, we're getting them in real time. The big thing I was looking for is, okay, what's the format of that expression? It's just a slightly different, file format, path format that will indicate, like, really we want the live feed of this. So I'm just going to copy this because I'm lazy. And we have some examples actually. So yeah, okay, let's switch back. Here we go. So I'm going to say, the path that I want. In this case, the source is that I'm going to ask for is system. In those sources, like what I'm going to be configuring here, we have some links here. It's not magic voodoo stuff. It's really the sources as defined by Microsoft in Windows. So we're using public APIs. So that you can follow whatever instructions Microsoft tells you in terms of what are the source names, as well as the XPath filter expression that you can provide as well. To not only do we allow you to select a specific source, but you could also filter all the way down to specific event IDs, or using XPath, you could also go into very specific values in different fields. So it's pretty powerful. In this case, I'm just going to say, I'm going to collect everything from the system source and star. So all of the things. I will also go and say the security, I think is what it's called. Security and system. So security star. So I'll take those two sources that we want to subscribe to. We want to get those in real time, so I'm going to hit save.